Alright, I wanted to double check. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I thought I would try doing something a little different, and well, I'm not feeling very well today. I feel kind of depressed. Just another one of those chemical imbalances, and since I'm not really in the mood to really talk, I'll probably bring Discord out here in a little bit, and he can entertain you or something. I wanted to talk a little bit about worth and your self worth. Um, Sometimes people around you talk about you, how great you are, what you've done, and some people's brains are just wired differently, like mine, and mine very wired differently. Anyways, mine's very wired differently, and I have a very hard time um, accepting myself. I've been able to do so since I joined the Brony community, but I apologize for all the noise every time around this time in the weekdays. Everyone's trying to get home so they can watch whatever drivel's going to be on next on television, whatever reality crap they're watching. As you can tell, I'm not really wearing my glasses, my trademark glasses. I've decided to not really show my eyes as much as possible, so I apologize to those who want to see them. You're not going to see them. I can't really see right now, so I may have to change to my glasses in order to shut off my camera, because right now I feel very ugly and I feel very self-hateful of myself. I feel self-loathing that is hard to express. It's a mix. It's like I hate myself for my talents. I hate myself for who I am. I hate myself because I accept myself. It's like this double-edged sword I always have to walk upon, and no one understands when I try to explain it. They just look at me like I'm some sort of fool that's just trying to milk sympathy from them. I really do wish I could just milk sympathy. I try not to. I don't want to be pitied. I hate being pitied. If I have to be blind, then fine. I'll be blind in the daylight. I'll learn how to walk without my vision. It's not like I can't do it. But I don't like being patronized. Today I woke up, I had a nightmare. I had a nightmare yesterday where it was about the girl that I was wanting to marry, and it was about me finding her corpse in a ditch, and her corpse springing to life and choking me, her claws digging into me more skeletal. The more she reached into my throat, the more skeletal it got, and the more sharper they became, and she pricked out my throat. And while I was going staring right into her barren eye sockets, she shrieked, "Why couldn't you save me?" And then I woke up. Why couldn't I save you? That's what I kept asking all day. It was my fault that she died, I feel it was my fault. My brother died. I could have saved him. I could have drugged my ass out of bed and drove down there and picked him up so he wouldn't have driven to his death. My friends that I've lost over the years, I could have saved them. I should have known my friend was on heroin. I should have known all these things, but I didn't. And now I bear the full weight of that. And I will always bear that guilt and weight. And even though it's not logical, it still is real enough to where it clings to you. It actually clings to your soul, and it makes you feel these things. Perhaps I was given this as punishment by divine justice. Perhaps I was meant to save them, but I was just too idiotic or stupid to do anything. Perhaps I deserve the punishments I've been getting. Perhaps I deserve to be alone. Perhaps I deserve no fame, no love, no fans. Perhaps I deserve the darkness. Perhaps I don't even deserve to even be calling myself a brony. Perhaps I should call myself something else, like a subhuman creature or a monster, because that's what I feel like today. Who could ever love a beast? That's what I feel like. Not all the time, but I can't sleep without night terrors. I can't sleep without waking up and breaking my hand upon the wall, waking up with my hand bleeding because I punched the wall because I was so frightened. It's taking everything I have not to break out in tears right now. But I just couldn't keep this bottled up. I'm in a loss of pain, and no one is going to care. That's what they tell me in my head. No one cares. No one will care. And if they do care, they're lying. They're just trying to make you feel like you matter when you really don't. I hate being on the air and showing you what I look like on a bad day. But this is me when I'm depressed, and I wanted to show everyone. I have a changing accent. I have people telling me I'm good at what I do voice-wise, but yet I don't see but 2 people, 3 people maybe at most, that seem to care enough to talk to me and tell me how much I am. If I'm such an inspiration, then why aren't there banners of me then? Because I see banners of everyone else. I don't want to be an inspiration anyways, other than I love inspiring people, but I don't want them being inspired by my pathetic existence, that I'm just a walking corpse waiting for his coffin, or waiting for the day they can just shove my fat ass inside of a burner and let me burn to ashes. But these are real problems. These are what people actually go through like me. So I don't care if anyone here dislikes this and says, oh, don't talk about your problems, it makes us unhappy. Too bad. There's too many people out there, and I can probably name 5 right off the bat, but I won't, that go through the same exact problems I do. Fluctuations, ill wiring in the brain. I'm not wired different, and I never will be normal. Normal, that word. It hurts me as much as freak. When someone calls me a freak, is worse, almost, is calling me a normal person. What is normality? Well, from what I gather, normality is when you pick up a gun and kill a 5-year-old because your God said so. That's normality to me. Normality is when a politician lies through their teeth, gets your vote, and then steals from you. And what do? You just go, well, that's just the way the world works. No. I'm sorry. That's not the way the world works. That's what you've been told. And I'm sick of it. I urge everyone who listens to this, don't take it anymore. If Walmart steals from you, you steal from Walmart. Maybe that's a bad message. I don't know. Right now, I have a fluctuation of emotions inside of my brain. And no matter what I do, they just won't stop. It's voices and vortexes. It's pain and joy. It's so indescribably insane that it makes me want to punch the wall. But it all stems from the nightmare, from my grief. I don't know what to do. I've tried, but I feel like giving up. I really do. I feel done. But that's just the depression, right? I'd like to think so. But if I can't do this right, if I can't gain anything from this community in the way of a career, I really don't have any more options. I don't really want to be a part of any other fandom than this one. I love the BRONIES and the PEGASISTERS. I love you all, but I'm afraid you will never love me. Just like the tragic love story, where the man longs for the woman, and the woman longs for another man. And when the man finally gets the courage to approach the woman and show him what he's got, she turns him down promptly and says, "No, I'm in love with another." And they leave happily ever after. That's me. I'm always the man who gets to stand there and watch the happy couple walk off into the sunset, sharing that one kiss. The kiss I've never felt. Sure, I've had times in my life where I've had adventures, I've had tenderness, I've had love and care thrown at me in tenfold than I ever thought I deserved. But I'd never felt this warmth in my head, heart, and soul. It's like this trinity of warmth, and I assume that's what love is like. Oh, sure, I felt the love of my mother, but I never felt love of my mother. I've never felt what it really means to be loved. I've only felt what I thought was love, which apparently love is more pure and beautiful than one can imagine. Love makes everything else disappear. Love, what you want to know what my biggest fantasy is when it comes to love? I want to lay there in my lover's arms and her sing me hush now, quiet now, as I tear up and fall asleep and cuddle. I want someone that when I have night terrors, that she can hold me, and no matter how much I struggle, no matter how much I may even hurt her by accident, that she never lets go until I stop. Love, to me, is more pure than anything in the world, in all of its forms. But the love I have always craved is one that I've never been able to achieve. I've never had someone love me, or at least I've never felt that way. I've never been able to feel normal emotions either. I don't feel panic like most people do. I actually have two different panic forms. Either I got this, where I'm just calm and collective, or super panic mode, where I just think everything's going to come to an end. Sorry. Look at me, I'm so utterly pathetic. I'm so blind. But now I finally see. I guess that's the great irony of life. Maybe there is a God, and maybe he's punishing me for my misdeeds I've done in my life. I tried to atone for them, I really have. But maybe there's not much I can do to atone for my sins. Perhaps I'm destined to find no one. My destiny is the ground. I don't know. But when I get depressed, I get pathetically poetic. Perhaps life is only lucky to those who deserve it, and even those that don't deserve it. Some people are born into prosperity by random. Some are born into extreme poverty by random. Some die before they're even born, and some live to be 170. Well, that was mildly exaggerated, but you get the point. Point is, some people may be destined for loneliness. Some may be destined to die. Some may be destined for nothing. Some may be destined to lead kingdoms and build armies. Some may be destined to fight against said armies and kingdoms. There's always a balance. There can never be an imbalance, or else the world seems to crumble. If there's too many smart people, the system crumbles because there's too many smart people. But if there's too many stupid people, the system crumbles because there's too many stupid people. It seems you need the right amount of smart and stupid in order to balance out the world, it seems. It seems you need serial killers and you need policemen that do their job correctly. You need corrupt cops for every mafia member, and you need a good cop for every good vigilante that goes out there and takes the law into his own hands. It seems like the world's one big balancing act. And the bronies are just caught in the middle sometimes because we're the broken people. We're the ones that society's rejected. We're the ones with Asperger's, with schizophrenia, with cancer. We're the ones that society will either deemed as pathetic, sad, or not much time left on this earth. Well, I'm sorry, society, but I fervently disagree with you, and I will never, ever change my opinion on the bronies. You can tell me I am a faggot. You can call me every name in the book. You can call me everything that's even out of date, and it would not matter to me. Why? Because I know what the bronies are. They're broken individuals. They're individuals that seek refuge with other individuals like them. Voice actors, perfect example. We are crazy in the fun way. We're not Jeffrey Dahmer. We're not John Wayne Gacy. But we are like Robin Williams. You always have some sort of fun with us. And Bernie musicians, they seem to be quite taken with whole lightheartedness. As you notice, I can't really answer questions if you are asking me or telling me things. I'm sorry, I can't really read them, but I assume no one's listening anyway, so, you know, who cares right now? I'm going to be blunt, and I'm going to be forward with my fans. I go through these periods where I hate myself with a passion, and I can talk for hours on reasons why I am pathetic. But the fact is, it's not who I am. It's all up in here. It's what defines me as an individual. It's what shaped me as a person. The bullies in my life, the ones that made me feel bad for being overweight or being weird, I thank them. I thank my bullies. I had to have my own personal devils, because in order for us to obtain our own way of life, our own way of thinking, our own way of defending ourselves, we have to be confronted. And bullies never seem to die, no matter what age they exist, and they will always exist. So one must learn from the bullies And what I learned from the bullies is most of them have no discernible talents. They have no discernible features. They have only brute force and a capacity to make you hurt. However, their efforts to drain my self-esteem worked. However, it still backfired because that's what drove me to become even more of a crazier person. That's what drove me to become more, and not crazy like in the bad way, crazier as in, well, if I can't defend myself with my fist, I'm going to make them laugh until they can't even decide whether to hit me or not. And it worked. And now I have a personality that radiates, that people never get rid of. They tell me this all the time. When I first met you, you have this energy that radiates off of you. I've never gotten a vibe from anyone in my life like you. Well, that's because I had bullies. I had adults pushing me around when I was 6 years old. When I was 6 years old, I was kicked in the stomach by a teacher in front of all the students. And then I was punished for being kicked in the stomach and sent to the principal's office. Principal suspended me and told the parents that I stole something. And I got grounded. So life is unfair. If it's unfair to you, then all you have to do is suck it up. Get over it. Because no one else is going to help you. I learned that the hard way. Until I met the bronies. That's when I found out that people will help you. I may have to change here and just see if anyone's looking or listening. But to be honest, I don't care right now. I just want to speak. I want to talk. I want to vent. And this may seem like a sad party, a sad sack of affairs, whatever. But really, it's just me reflecting upon my depression. I see the lost narrator. I've seen and met the lost narrator. I've met Magpie Pony. I've met these big name stars from the internet. And in fact, I've been on a show that had Goody, who's a very prestigious reader of creepypastas and brony fics, and Magpie, who has created Princess Trixie Sparkle, and in fact, one of the stars of said show is someone I work with closely on Bronies Beyond the Ponies. But yet, I never, ever feel like I belong with them. Because I don't think I'm that special. Yeah, I can do a spot on or a det on Discord, I suppose. I can do various voices. People say I'm a genius when it comes to musicality. I mean, with my voice and all that and acting, but I don't really believe them 100%. I try to, but a part of me says no. You are nothing. That's what they say. That's what it says. It's what this part of my head, it's like back here, somewhere back here. Thank God for the dubstep constantly playing in my head because of light, because it drowns it out a little bit. So it kind of helps. It's helped me a little bit not get depressed frequently. But I have been around the block a few times to know when depression is about to take hold, and it is taking hold right now. And rather than hide my feelings, I'm going to spill them out for the entire world to hear. Why? Because too many people bottle them up, and you know what that leads to? That leads to, I'll show you. What are my stupid glasses? When you don't let out your emotions, this is what happens. And as you can tell by the way I'm speaking, I am really joking myself hard. This is what happens when you don't let out your emotions. Let them out, or else they will consume you. That's all I can say. I apologize. I apologize if that was a little dramatic, but I'm getting sick and tired of people saying to bottle up your emotions. Garbage. That's all it is. It's garbage. Yes. Let's have all these men and women bottle up their emotions, because that's going to help them. That's going to really help them. You know. To my bronies and PEGASISTers, I thank you very much for what you've done for me. You've given me a new life. You've given me pardon me. You've given me so much more than I could ever imagine. You've given me a feeling of being needed, and I've never felt that. I've never felt like anyone's ever wanted me around or needed me for any reason at all. I've always felt like, what's the point? Why should I exist? Look at me. I'm not the best looking person in the world, but I have a heart. Does that not count for anything? Does my emotions not make me strong? Do my emotions not make me desirable? Do I have to have chiseled jaw, and perfect hair, and can I not have flaws and still be beautiful? And then I saw My Little Pony, and I saw what they preached, what they tried to preach. They preached acceptance, not tolerance. Look it up. There's a difference. Acceptance is completely different than tolerance. You tolerate a cold. You put up with a cold. That's what tolerate means. Accepting. That's magical. Accepting is saying, come on in. Just come on in. That's all acceptance is come on in. And I remember the first time the bronies told me to come on in. It was one of the most fantastic days of my life. It completely changed me for the better. No longer was I willing to strangle myself and kill myself. I was ready to work. I was ready to do something. I want to fight illiteracy in this country. I want to fight children starving in our own backyards. That's what I would do if I had money. If I had millions of dollars, I don't need that much. I only need maybe $35,000 for myself, plus expenses, of course. The rest would just go to orphanages. And I'm not talking about that bull crap. Here you go, do the money, do what I ask. I mean, I would go there and I would make sure that every single thing I brought, money-wise, was paid for what I wanted right then and there. No ifs, ands, or buts. If they gave me any crap, then I would say, well, then you don't get the money because I'll give it straight to the children. I will go to the children and give them their money. I will stand here for about 6 hours and make sure you don't take the money. And if you do take the money, then I will kick you firmly in the balls because I don't take kindly to thieves anymore. And I feel that there are too many thieves in this world. I feel there are too many bad guys with guns and not enough good guys with a revolver sometimes. Look at me. I'm just one angry person, aren't I? This is me when I'm depressed. I go through different phases, different things. Right now, I feel angry. I'm feeling so angry about what makes me mad about this world. Too much have I seen this. I have seen this more times in my life than I even care to even recollect. But don't worry, I get to have nightmares about them. I get to revisit them in my dreams, which is why it's very hard for me to sleep. The bronies have still kept pushing me, though, to the right direction. Perhaps one day I will find that special someone who will hold me and sing to me until I fall asleep. Maybe I will find inner peace, finally, and get rid of everything in my heart that is holding me down. Perhaps I will. I don't know. I know there are certain events coming up, and to those out there who know what I'm talking about, if things go well, maybe, just maybe, a change might be made. And no longer will we have to worry about such things as a 2-year-old starving to death right next door to my own house. My God, when I heard about that, my heart sank. I cried. I didn't know the kid, I never did, but 2 years old and starving to death. This is a problem, people. George Clooney, where are you? You're going to Africa. You're going to all these other places. I'm sorry, but when you have, why don't you go to Compton and give them money? Why not go to the ghettos of New York and give them your money? Give them food, shelter, hope, a job. You work as a fucking actor. You have the power, but yet you choose to waste it. What I want to do is go to Compton. I will willingly go to Compton and hand out free money. I know people would make jokes and say, oh, you're going to get shot, man. I don't care. Shoot me if you must, but my intentions are here to save you. I want to save you from starvation. This is a serious problem, people. We cannot have this. We can't have little children dying over something as easy in this country to get as food, when all you have to do is give them $5 and they can get something at McDonald's. It's not healthy, I guess, but hey, it's better than starving to death. I've been starving. It's not by choice. It's more due to my illness, but I know the feeling of starvation. It hurts. It makes you depressed. It makes you wonder, what am I going to do? You get scared when you start that phase where your head starts hurting along with your stomach, and they kind of work together and they go, we're going to die. And that's the first thing you start thinking about, is you're going to die. And a little child with that, I don't know. I don't know what to think, other than we need to make a change. And I'm willing to step forward and give away all my money that I would ever obtain in my life, because I know it's not going into the ground with me. There's no point in keeping money other than to make sure you pay for your final arrangements. After that, you're pretty much set. Once I get my money, I can make my will, get everything straightened out, put away the money, and then use the rest of the money for whatever I want. I'm not afraid to look death in the eyes. Don't ever let people tell you not to look death in the eyes, because death is always looking at you. I say these words not to scare, but more as a philosophical thing. Don't turn your eyes away from what's going to be inevitable. But you can help prevent it, is what I'm saying too. We need to make sure that we don't have any more starving children. As soon as people in the whole entire world can stop starving, then I will be happy. I can die with a smile on my face. If illiteracy is tackled all over the world by my end of my life, by my life's end, I should say, then I have done something worth a damn. Me making millions of dollars does not mean I've done anything with my life. It means I've made paper that's dirty, green, and probably has been inside a G-string. Possibly inside the butt crack of a hooker. That's all it is to me. Dirty, filthy, green money with a slave owner's face on it. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care. I burn it. As far as I'm concerned, all I've seen money do is cause nothing but pain and tragedy amongst people. I admire the trade system of My Little Pony. In fact, I admire the society of My Little Pony altogether. Why? Well, for one, they encourage their children to find their voice at a very young age, which we do not do. We pill them up. We say, sit over there, shut up, and do your homework, and you'll somehow be an upstanding citizen. We dash away their hopes and dreams when they say, Mommy, I want to be president. Or, Daddy, I want to be a painter. And you say, well, you can't make a living doing that, son. Why not? Because no one likes painters. What are you talking about? There's plenty of jobs for a painter. In fact, paint your own picture in defiance of that very statement. When I look at the bronies, I see one big rebellious streak. One big rebellious attitude. I love it. The bronies are so rebellious. Rainbows and pinks. Men wearing shirts and dressing like Rainbow Dash. That is rebellion. That is saying, no, I am not going to dress like He-Man. I'm not going to dress like a Chip and Dale's dancer. I'm going to dress like a colorful pony that I enjoy and I love. Oh, society doesn't like it. Oh, well, whatever. Who cares what you have to say? Your opinion doesn't matter here now. I like that. It's brotherhood. And that's what I feel when I talk about the bronies. It's just passionate brotherhood. I can't emphasize this enough, how much when I'm depressed and I look at brony stuff and I watch Lost Narrator or I watch Cootie or whatever, Pootie, whatever, all the names, Scribbler. I've been listening to Scribbler lately. And Scribbler, she really is awesome. I love her as much as I love listening to anyone else on the audio readings. I fall asleep to them now because they kind of soothe me. They're fun and they make me feel. This is the most pathetic thing I will ever admit on air, but they make me feel loved. There, I said it. I feel like Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie are talking to me. I feel like they're loving me, that they're cuddling with me, that I'm not alone, that I'm not just really sitting in my bed in the dark alone like a corpse being buried. I feel warmth from your voices, and I long to be a part of this world, but I don't think anyone wants me around. I have a few people that like me, but I feel like I'll never be truly loved in this world at all. And that's just how I feel. I'm being very intimate with you guys right now. I'm about 2 seconds away from just trying to seduce you as Discord. That's how intimate I'm being and open. Because the bronies taught me that I need to do this, or else I will crush myself with my own pain and grief. That little child starved to death next to my house. I will never forget it. I saw the little casket. It haunts me. It will always haunt me, and it is a drive. It is nothing negative. That was a little life that passed before its time. It's a reason for me to get off my ass and do something. That's why I wanted to make this video, to let it be known that this little child died of starvation, a simple corrective problem that George Clooney, that Jim Carrey, that anyone worth their salt has never been able to fully take care of. And you live in this country. How dare you even call yourself an American when you can't even care about your own people? And you know what? Dash away America. Dash away all of the national boundaries. We don't need them anymore. Canadian, Mexican, does not matter. We are human beings. Well, you are. I'm not. Human beings don't mutate. But as a former human, we all need to work together. I'm sick and tired of turning on the news and seeing a group of children gunned down over Muslimism or Christianity. Christians, Muslims, Jews, well, Jews to a lesser extent, but the Christians and Muslims, stop it. Shut up, sit down, and just do what you want to do. I mean, by that, I mean read your books. Read your books and practice your religion. Stop killing people. It's not right, it's not fun, and it doesn't make you look good. It doesn't make you look good. And if your God is that benevolent, if your God really is correct, then I pity your God, because my God is Celestia and Luna. Those are my gods now. I look at them as my gods. They're benevolent, kind. They don't cause war. They could, I suppose, in logical circumstances, if they existed in our world, yes, there would be a lunar revolution. There would be those for the moon and for the sun. But seriously, Christians, Muslims, stop it. Shut up. We know your points of view. We know what you're fighting about. We know that you're fighting about this and that. I know. Just be yourselves and stop hating each other. Is that so hard for you to understand? I mean, seriously, we live in 2015 and you two cannot find one thing in common that you can enjoy together? A TV show? Friends. Friends is a good TV show. Watch Friends together and laugh. Laughter's the best medicine. Maybe it'll stop you from the Muslim extremists from, and it's not all Muslims and Christians, of course. I'm just talking about these extremists. They need to shut up. For real. I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of hearing both sides now. You both sound like this. You sound like, and then somehow there's an explosion and kids die. And then nothing at all gets resolved except more caskets are put into the ground. Congratulations, you've killed people. I'm so proud of you. You've shown how great you can be just by taking the life of a 5-year-old. That's so hard to do too. I am at a loss of words when I heard about those children being lined up and gunned down execution style. Why? Because I can't believe such foolishness would come from the mouths of holy men, that they actually expected them to do this, and worst of all, they carried it out. It boggles my mind. It really does. But enough about that. Let's talk about the other side of the issue. How do we stop this is the question. Not why and what's going through your head. We all know what's going through your extremist mind. You're deluded. You've deluded yourself so much that you think you're right, and you're going to do whatever you can to make sure that you kill in order to make a point. Yes, we get it. Okay, we've broken down what you're talking about. Now, the question is, how do we fix said problem? All right, fixing the problem is relatively simple. We know the problem. We just need to reverse it. And by that I mean, let's make, I don't know, let's make a fun game night and have everyone of every religion join in, and we'll play Monopoly. No, not Monopoly. That can lead to some fatalities, actually. Monopoly is a very dangerous game, especially when it goes on for 8 hours. How about Sorry? How about we play the game of Sorry together? Or Connect 4. That would be fun. A fun little joyous occasion, you know? Something, instead of pain and suffering, we'll have a game night where every religion can do whatever they kind of want to do and have a fun time. And you know what the saddest thing is? It is such an easy solution to this problem, but it can never ever be carried out, because if we did that, then at some point a bomb's going to go off at some point, I assume, because people are just not programmed to be like that, I suppose. I guess people just aren't programmed to be civil. Maybe that's why I'm not normal, because I'm too civil, I guess. I don't know. I have no problem hurting a Muslim extremist or a Christian extremist. In fact, sometimes it's hard for me not to clench my fist in anger at these people and go, why are you doing this? You are completely ignoring everything and breaking all the rules in the book. But now it's more, I want to extend a hand. I think these people need to cry. I think if they cried just a little bit and hugged someone, they'd feel a little better about life. I really do think that. I think that's how we can solve the problem. Game night followed by crying and hugging each other. Let the Muslims cry and hug the Christians, and the Christians can do the same, and they can admit what the problem is, and then we can find some way to work towards that good futurist goal of getting them to work together. That's it. That's all we need, is working together. We need people to work together, I guess, is what I'm getting to in a long-winded fashion. I must turn off my lights, so I'm going to turn off my camera now. But I think we are close to finding that one true paradise that we call heaven on this earth. I think we're close to that. I think we are. And actually talking about this has made me feel a lot better now. I'm starting to feel less depressed. Even though I only have one viewer and only one viewer ever, I admire that one viewer to actually care about me enough to actually listen. People say I'm famous, but I'm sorry, but I barely get over 100 views, and I barely get more than 6 comments. I'm not famous. Famous people get millions of views. I may be inspirational, but I'm not famous. Fame is totally different. Fame is everyone wants you, everyone knows you, and everyone wants to talk to you. Not being famous is when, you know, I'm known. I just got in known, and I don't think the bronies like me. That's just me. The PEGASISTers and the bronies, I don't think like me that much. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I don't like me either sometimes. In fact, sometimes I don't want to spend time around myself. Sometimes I find it even hard to get out of bed. But I still do it. I don't know why. Call it craziness. Call it being an idiot. Call it whatever you will. I still don't know why I do it. I guess the true reason is I just need something to go do every day. If I don't, I'm just going to lay in bed. So I guess I'm just trying to do it to get out of, get out of the bedroom, for a little bit, or get out of my head, so to speak. So I can just vent and let loose, and I can talk, and if my voice is that entertaining, then you can just sit here and listen, and even feel passionate, cry with me. Laugh with me. Ha ha ha. We all need a laugh, don't we? I think we do. In fact, I think we need more laughter in this world. In fact, I think the the sad fact is there's not enough laughter in this world anymore. I think we need the clown back. The world needs a clown. The world needs someone to laugh with, not at. See, we reserve laughing at for people like Justin Bieber, One Direction, Miley Cyrus, those are the people you reserve to laugh at because at some point they take themselves too seriously, they fall down, go boom, and then ha ha ha. Before you know it, you're just staring at a shell of a person that used to be a celebrity. But a clown in this pretense is more of what the world needs to go with it. What the world needs is more of a person that's willing to give them a smile. And right now I'm smiling. I turned off my camera because I have some tears. I had to take off my glasses. I had to turn off my light. And I'm not going to allow any of you to be scarred for life by watching or looking upon my eyes. If you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's, my eyes look exactly like that with reflection of light. I have little white pupils that are inhumane under, and the rest of it is basically pitch black. So you would be looking at like a demon's eyes, and I'm not going to allow that to happen. In fact, I'm surprised that I'm even allowed anywhere near people. I'm surprised YouTube hasn't kicked me off yet. They already took away my money, so I don't get paid for this. I'm still broke and no one's going to give me money, of course, so I'm just going to do this until the inevitable end happens, I suppose, and then maybe they can just toss my body into the river. I don't really care. Once I'm dead and gone, do whatever you want with my body. Hell, carve it up and serve it for Thanksgiving dinner. I don't care. I'm gone. Baby, I'm out. I digress from that. This has been a dark episode due to the fact that I've been depressed. And when I get depressed, it's hard for me to snap out of it unless I talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it with you guys because I can't afford therapy because I'm broke and because this world doesn't really care if you're broke. They just want your money. And I went down probably from like 85 viewers to just one viewer. If for all I know, I don't know. I had my eyes shut the whole damn time, the first hour, I guess. I don't even know what time I started, but I assume I've been going on for a couple hours. But the Bronies and the Pegasisters, I can't thank you enough for what you have done to show me that I have some worth left in me, that I'm not just old and ready to be put out to pasture, because as we all know nowadays, 30 is the new 60, so as soon as you turn 30, you're almost pretty much a dinosaur and you need to stop while you're ahead. Maybe I can find some new life in this world and not have to worry about that new cliche of being 30 years old and still trying to find an audience. I keep feeling no matter how famous I get, I'm never, ever finding an audience. That's what I feel like. I feel like no matter how far I get in life, I'm not going to find my audience because I don't feel like they exist. But that's just me again. That's just me talking. Like I said, I need to vent or else I'm going to be depressed. And then you guys will see a message on Skype saying that I did kill myself. Because I technically have a loaded gun right next to me and I can pull the trigger at any moment and end the life right now on the air. Which if I was going to, I would do on the air because I'm dramatic like that. I'm like Rarity. But thanks to the Pegasisters and the Bronies, I can restrain myself from using such tools. I try not to do that, but I must partake of my medicine. And my medicine is good. I just wish I didn't wake up so depressed, I guess is what I'm saying. I guess I wish I woke up feeling happier and in better spirits, and talk about something like whimsical. I don't know. Talk about fairies and leprechauns and fairy dust. I don't know. Something better than what I've been talking about, but I needed to address some serious issues I've had with people and society as a whole. And if you're like me, you probably feel the same way. You probably feel as if this world's been violated too much and it needs to stop. I'm not trying to be a social justice warrior or anything like that. In fact, I'm glad I'm a warrior, because the bronies need someone to pick up the sword and the shield for them and say, we are not backing down. Come and charge the castle. I'll slice you up, my friend. But that's not our way. We don't want to hurt. The world wants to hurt us. That's the fact. We can spend our entire lives working towards a better future, but the fact is the world always seems to try to find a way to mess it up. And I think we need to find a way around that in order to find what we truly are looking for in life. Happiness, love, friendship, a career that would make us happy, a job that would make us happy. It doesn't have to be a career, it could be a fun job. Teddy, stop it! But with every passing day, I have a struggle inside me, a good and a bad struggle. A struggle where if I don't stop, it could consume me. And I would not want that to happen, because I do not want to abandon my new friends. I don't want to abandon any of my friends. I don't want to abandon those who care about me. I don't want to abandon my fans. I want to give, and I want to keep on giving, no matter what. As long as I can breathe and walk and still stand, I will never, ever, ever, ever stop. I will go forward. I will always get up. Whip me with chains. Smack me in the face. Do what you will. It will never break me. I will always stand up and walk. Break my knees. Fine, I'll crawl. Break my back. I'll scooch. I will leave trails of my own flesh on the ground to get to where I need to. That's how determined I am to be more than just an inspiration. I want to be those success stories. I want to show that it doesn't matter what you're struck with life. Whatever life can throw at you, you can throw it right back at them. And thus, I guess that should end today's podcast. I think I might start doing one of these at least each couple of days. I might move up to doing them every day, depending on the demand. So if you do like my podcast, please view it, comment, like, subscribe to my channel. Please show me some love. And if I can tell that you guys do love me, then I will continue on with these, and I will take your suggestions. And next time I will do more of a Q&A. So, that being said, Musketeers, I thank you. I thank you for joining me and bearing my depressive ramblings and my angry ramblings. If I scared you at all, please do not be alarmed. I feel very much better after this, and I hope that you guys will feel a little better too. So, till next time, King Mars is here to stay. Stay frosty, my friends. And stay brony. Until next time, as they say in Zimbabwe, adios, amigo.